Hey guys, Jason here with A.S.A.P and Kayaking, and over my shoulder here you can...
Okay everybody, let me address something really quick here. I know it like a hot mess. I am covered from head to toe with sweat, Gojo, and Krud cutter. I shot this intro after completing this restoration, so anyway, that's the reason I look like a hot mess during this entire video.
See, we've got an RVR 119. Now this is not the ultimate RVR 119 that you saw me build here on my channel. This is actually a kayak I picked up off the Facebook Marketplace some time ago. And in purchasing it, it was the hopes to kind of have as a second kayak that family and friends could use when we go out on river trips. But after some consideration, decided to go ahead and take the time and do some restoration on this kayak and give you guys a treat and try to show you exactly what I did to do that. Now you'll see some clips I'll put here in the video. This kayak was in some pretty rough shape. It was well loved and well used by its previous owner. And rightfully so, that's what this kayak was designed for. So guys, I want you to sit back and enjoy the video. Okay, you can see here we got everything laid out, guys, for the restoration here. The seat's gonna need some attention. The dry pod will also need a little attention. Got the drill here. We're gonna use the scrubbing attachments for the drill to hopefully get some of this stains and stuff off the kayak. Got the Krud cutter. I'll link some of this in the video for you. And then we'll be installing the new kill guard also as a benefit and a plus for those who are going to be purchasing this kayak. Okay guys, so to start with, we're gonna give this sucker a good bath. You saw in the B-roll there that this thing is in dire need for a good scrubbing down. So we're gonna start with just some Dial dish soap I've got here in a scrub bucket. Scrub it down real good, and what we can't get out, then I'm gonna go back with a attachment for my drill, and we're gonna try to scrub out all the red clay stains using some Krud cutter. And then once we get this thing polished up as good as we can get it, we're gonna take it and begin to try to get out some of these scratches and gouges that have been collected over the years of use. The guy I got this from, man, great guy, but he got his money's worth out of it. He took this thing and caught tons of fish. There's lots of videos out there of him in this kayak. I'll try to create some links here for you to check him out. Banks and Eddie is out of Georgia. But anyway, let's get in here and see how good we can get this thing polished up. Scrub, scrub. Scrub, scrub.
Okay guys, so right here what you see is I got the brush attachment attached to the drill. And what I did is I took a bowl of Gojo and just kind of carried it around with me through the whole project. I'll spray the kayak down with the Krud cutter and then go back with the Gojo and just really scrub down on it. Now I have to give a big shout out. My daughter Mackenzie helped me a lot through this entire project, and she's also my camera girl, so good job, Mackenzie.
Alright, so we got a spot here. It's got pretty significant scratches and so forth. So using the heat gun, the old water spoon method, and some steel wool, we'll see if we can get some of these scratches blended in. Alright, so we'll start here by taking the heat gun and just kind of heating up this area. Once we get it heated up enough, we'll take the spoon and the cup of water. We're just going to cool off the spoon and smooth over this. Then we'll take the steel wool here and we'll just kind of brush over it here and try to get it polished back up. I hope you guys can hear this over the heat gun here, but this gouge right here is a little bit deeper than some of the other parts of this, so we're just going to kind of add a little bit extra heat to that spot. We'll just continue to work through this whole section of the kayak. You know, when the plastic is getting pretty warm, you'll see a color change. It will start to have kind of a gloss look to it. At that point, I like to stop and then start to work the plastic. So we'll wet the spoon here. Just kind of begin to smooth over this plastic, and it helps to lay down all these scratches that you guys get while out on the water making those memories. Sometimes those memories can be nightmares if you're not careful, but anyway, we'll continue to work this. And again, this gouge here is pretty deep. We'll want to take a little bit extra work to get it hopefully smoothed out, but we'll get there. As they say, slow and steady. You know, the tortoise always wins. Don't be a jackrabbit and mess up your kayak. So get that wet again there. And you'll have to put a little bit of force. Again, you're smoothing out plastic, you know, so don't be afraid. The spoon's gonna get a little warm, so as it does, just heat it back or stew it back in your cup of water and keep on going. Now, Chad Hoover will tell you to take and lick it, but yeah, no, I'm not doing that. This stuff is hot. And that spoon gets hot too every time you do this. steel wool here, kind of begin to blend some of the other scratches that are heated up. And again, guys, it's not going to be perfect. It's not going to be brand new, but it'll at least look a lot better, and it'll take down some of those scratches. Once we get done here, we can always go back and use our spray to put the layer protected on it, and that'll hopefully bring the shine back and have everything looking a little better than it did when we first started. You guys can see that in the camera, but the plastic's getting that gloss look to it, so at that point I slow up and blend. Slow up and just blend. Be sure not to spend too much time in one spot. You don't want to weaken the plastic or the rosin of the kayak. So once you get this spot somewhat done, step away from it for a little bit, let it cool off so the shape stays true to the initial mold cast of the kayak.
Hours later.
Okay, so hopefully you guys can tell this right here is a lot smoother than when we started originally. We'll continue to go through the process of hitting all the areas I feel need to be addressed on this kayak, and then once we get that all taken care of, we'll be installing a kill guard and a few other little upgrades I'm going to do for this kayak before we get it on the market to sell. Okay guys, so we got the bottom of the kayak cleaned up and restored as best as I could get it. Again, this kayak was well loved, so it had some certain spots need a little more attention, getting some of the flashes and grooves to kind of be cleaned up. And I also added this kill guard here to the front. Now you may or may not have seen that video, and I'll try to put something up here to kind of show you what that is, but I did create this custom kill guard on another video I did for my other RVR 119, and in the process I went ahead and made an extra one. So I installed it yesterday using the GOOP, and now I'm getting ready to take this Gorilla. This is some waterproof caulk sealant I use on a lot of my installs, and so we're going to add some of that around the edge of this. Okay, so now we got that. As you can see, there's silicone's been installed on the kill guard. All right, guys. So as I mentioned, this 303 spray. This stuff is phenomenal. We've used it since we first started kayaking. I found out about it early on. Basically take and spray it on your kayak, kind of like Armor All that's used on your dashes for your vehicles. Spray it down really nice, coat it really well, and then take like some type of microfiber or dust-free cloth, and basically you're going to just continue to wipe it down until it looks dry to the surface. That's going to protect it. Now this says apply every 3 to 5 weeks. I guess in heavy use, or if your kayaks are out exposed to the sun. Personally, ours, they sit up under a shed or they're on a trailer. As you see the Old Towns here in the background. Got the covers off of those right now because I was doing something earlier. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and apply this to the bottom here of the RVR 119, and then we'll take it and flip it over and do the other side. All right, so we'll give it a nice coat here on the very bottom of the kayak. We'll spray it all the way down. Then I'll go back here in a few minutes and just kind of wipe it off really well. Again, I'm not going to say this is needed for the bottom of the kayak, but in this particular situation, since I've taken the kayak and did a lot of repairs and just kind of, not really repairs, but just surface treatment to make this thing a little more polished for the next owner, I just wanted to kind of take some time to add a little more protection back into the bottom of the kayak. All right, so now we've had it sit on it for a few minutes. We're going to take us, this is just a shop cloth. I use these a lot. I actually, once I use them, I'm a cheapskate, I know, but you're basically just wiping off the excess. I'll take and let these dry. I'll use them over and over. So, I mean, you're not really trying to get it dirty because your kayak should be clean before you apply this product. So hopefully you've already taken those steps. So let's go ahead and polish this stuff off. Okay, so we're going to put this on the top side of the kayak here. Got it flipped over. Let's get this knocked out. Now, I try not to get on the deck pads, but what if I do? not the end of the world, but I try to avoid that when possible. So I'll set it to a more directional spray to get around the pads. So I may spray a little extra than I normally do, but let's make sure it's really nice and protected for the next owner. So hopefully you guys can see all this pretty well. It is a shaded area up here behind my house. Just trying to stay out of the direct sun while we do this, and you know, we're not in the yak shack today, so making some other kind of accommodation. So that's it, guys. We got this thing polished up here. Man, that was a labor of love if there ever was one. As you guys saw in the beginning of the video, this thing was definitely well loved and used by the previous owner. You know, and rightfully so. That's what these things are made for. They're made for putting on the rivers, abusing the heck out of them, and just having a blast. And lots of videos of this kayak actually from the prior owner. He's part of Team Bonafide. Lots of pictures and videos of him actually catching fish out of this kayak. So kayak has definitely a history of doing really well, performing well already. So hopefully the next owner who takes this home with them will have just as great experience as the original owner did. And like I mentioned in the beginning of the video, you know, this kayak was picked up as a second kayak for hopefully be able to use with friends and family going on river trips with us. But after some deep consideration, decided, you know what, I'd rather do a video bringing this thing back to life, putting a little elbow grease into it, and hopefully finding a new owner for it who can enjoy it on the regular and not sit up and just wait for someone to take it out. So I hope you guys can tell exactly how much, and I apologize, Snowflake is crowing like crazy here in the background, but hopefully you guys can tell exactly how well this turned out. I was very surprised that a lot of that old red clay mud that was just staining up this plastic came completely off the kayak. So that's it, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video. As you can probably see here, I'm sweaty as all get out. It's really humid here in the south, which it always is. But I want to take some time today to finish up this video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Was pretty pleased with all the little tips we used and tricks I found online to take this kayak that have been affected so heavily by the old red clay here in the south, and applying that Krud cutter and that Gojo, the little attachment brush with my drill, and giving this thing, you know, just a second go at life. I think it turned out really nice. Hope y'all enjoyed the video. Hope you guys gained some stuff. I also taken and seeing the tricks I use with taking the heat gun and a spoon and with a cup of water, kind of taking, smoothing out some of those imperfections that the kayak had accrued over this life already. You guys, if you enjoyed today's video, please do me a favor. Go ahead and hit the old like button for me. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please take a moment to subscribe and hit the notification button. You know, I try to put videos out every Thursday at 6 p.m. Eastern. And, you know, share this with friends, share this with family. Hopefully some tips and tricks either with this video and other ones I do that you guys can gain and apply those to either modifying something on your kayak or even taking a Saturday or Sunday to do a project with your family or your children. So anyway, guys, thanks again for watching the video. And as always, get on the water and make some memories. Okay guys, so I got the 303 that I mentioned.